depend on many different aspects. For example, when I say this one too small, when I compare to the whole screen, right? But when I compare this rectangular, the whole screen, it's still small compared to this sheet. And if I compare this sheet, it's about 4, 5 or 6 times of this screen. It's still much smaller than the rest column, right? So when we say big or small, zing or zang, that is just a relative when we compare to what. So we just need to have a concept, and then we have to depend on our condition. When we select the food we eat or the ring we ring to supplement for our condition. In general, whatever hot, high temperature, daylight, we consider as zang, the moon, the night, the winter, that is the zing. Whatever on the top, the inside, the abdominal, that means the top, the inside, the front end, the front side, that is we consider the zing. The bottom, the outer, the back, that is zang. For the body, whatever on the left, zang, whatever on the right, zing. And the short people, the fat people, okay, it zing. The skinny people, the yang. The color, we have the spectrum from red, orange, yellow, blue, green, purple, etc. So the color will go from yang to yin. So red, consider yang. Purple, consider zing. And for the texture, whatever soft, or when we heat it up, it expands, so that substance is more zing. Any substance is hard, or when we cook, it becomes smaller, so that substance is more yang. For the taste, the sweet, sour, and we consider that the zing. For salty, bitter, or pungent, we consider that the yang. Be careful when you read the text, because it depends on the author. If you read the text written by the Oriental author, he or she may follow this category of differentiation. But if you read the text written by the Western author, he or she may use different way of category. But if you read carefully detail, you will see the same principle. For example, why we consider salty or bitter or pungent is yang. Because during the cold weather, the salty food, the bitter food, it have a tendency to draw energy inward and downward. So that's why we categorize that into the same substance, or it has the same activity, because go inside or go downward. But from the Westerner author, because they define it in different way, they may define that as zinc substance, because they see that substance be used during the zinc season. You see, so it's different when you first read, but when you read carefully the whole text and you see the same mechanism, the same application. And the other example, for example, the active activity, the function, the outside, the masculine, or this one we consider the yang. And on the other hand, passive, or the inside, the feminine, the darkness, the coldness, or this one we consider this is yin. And the final, you see that a little bit, this is the way of the Western author. It yin for it go inside and downward. That's why when during the winter, the zen for it draw inside. So when we cook any substance, it therefore draw internally and downward. It makes that substance become smaller. So we consider that yang. And it therefore it go externally and upward. We consider that yin. But here, because they categorize it based on the application of the condition, when the zinc port go outside and upward, it makes the contradict or the revert force. It contract, because we always have two opposite force, mutual each other in every activity. So that's why the Western author use the different way of categorize. But any substance, when you heat it up, when you cook it, it becomes smaller, it shrinks. So that substance is yang. Anything when you cook, it becomes expand, it becomes softer, it becomes looser. That substance is more yin. And for the fruit, the vegetable, the same thing. We can categorize that, and then we have a little bit concept about that. So we can select appropriate fruit or vegetable for our condition. Any based on whatever we just learned. So any plant going up, it will become more yin than yang. So anyone going down, the deeper in the soil, it will become more yang. So when we compare a potato with a carrot, with a radish, we will see the potato is narrow than the carrot. The carrot it go deeper into the soil, and the radish go much deeper, right? So if we base on that principle, the radish will be the most yang compared to the carrot and to a potato. But if we base on the color, the potato have a yellow color. A carrot have a orange to red color. A radish have a white color. So when we base on that principle, now the radish become the most zinc, and then next to a potato, and then the most zinc the carrot. You see? So actually we have a relative only, it's not absolute. Yeah. So when we select the food we eat, the same thing depend on whatever we have at home, whatever we have in that season, and then our condition it change continually. Yesterday you have diarrhea because we eat something wrong, we have food poisoning. So on the water it draw out, and then we need to supply the water back to our body. But after we have a diarrhea for a while, we have a dehydration, we have a fever. So from the very zinc, now it's switched to yang, right? Because no more water, dehydration, and then the temperature gone up, we have a yang condition. So in that situation, we need to give zinc, fruit or vegetable to supply to balance our condition. But as soon as we balance our condition, if we overuse, we abuse that, our body becomes zinc right away. Okay? So zinc or yang, it changes all the time. Depend on our condition, depend on our food. Another example, when during the spring or the summer, especially during the summer, we have a high temperature. We eat salad or mung bean sprout, so it's considered very zinc to neutralize the heat in our body and the heat outside in the environment. But and then if we eat that at lunch, it's okay, because lunch is between the yang and the zinc, but it still have more yang than zinc. The temperature is still high, it's still hot, so it's too much yang. We need to eat zinc food to counterbalance for that. But if we have a leftover and we keep that when we eat in the evening for the supper, at supper time, that is almost the yang no longer there. The temperature cool down at 5 or 6 p.m. right? And also that is the zinc time, and if we continue to eat zinc food, we have cold, we have the belly distension, we have indigestion, or we have a more water retention, we have to go to toilet more. You see, so that's why when we listen to our body, we see the condition, it will change. and the food we eat has to base on our condition and the time and the season. It never be stick in one principle or one condition. So that's why we see living or eating an art. If we know how to master, how to combine that perfectly, we have a healthy living life, and we don't have any sickness. But if we get stuck in any principle and we don't listen to our body and we just lean on our feeling, our perception, our conception, and we are going wrong against our body. The other thing is hard for us today because we have too many different food from many different countries by importing. Actually, our nature very smart. Our body very smart. The nature already gives us the vegetable, the fruit correctly based on the environment, the natural condition. So during the spring or the summer, we'll have more zinc food or vegetable. But during the fall or the winter, because of cold temperature, the fruit or the vegetable will have different capacity, different property to help our body maintain the body temperature on the duration, the durable of the cold temperature. But now we have many different fruit, many vegetables, many products from different countries, from different seasons. So if we not really listen to our body carefully, we will mess it up. And we eat based on our wrong perception, based on our eyes, our smell, and our taste. At the old time, when we doesn't have the advantage of transportation system, most of the food we eat consider locally, and we are living in the same house for generation to generation. See, we not travel long distance, we not travel oftenly. So the organic food at that time consider within 70 to 100 kilometer diameter. But nowadays, because we have more and more transportation means, we travel long distance and we migrate far away from our hometown. Sometimes we travel long distance for work, for vacation. So that's why the food have to travel with us too. If we listen to our body carefully, we will know how much is the right ratio of food for the old time and the new food at the new environment to let our body have a harmonious ratio. Otherwise, if we still maintain to eat the food in the old time, our immune system will get weak because it not get used to the new environment, so it cannot again the factor, the foreign substance invade our body in the new environment, and immune system cannot fight back to all that condition. But if we adapt or if we eat all kind of food at a new environment, our body may not get along it yet, because it needs time to produce the enzyme. It needs time to adapt to the new environment. And the core of our body, our bone, our internal organ is built up from the old time, from the old food. If we change it abruptly, it will have a reaction. And today, you see a lot of people have an autoimmune disease because we not listen to our body. We expose to the new environment, to the new variety of food. That's why our body will recognize that food or that drink, that substance or that environment become the foreigner, and it attacks all of that. So, and then it becomes attack itself, its own body. The other problem in our body now today, we have immunosuppression. That means our body don't have enough capacity to fight back the foreign substance or the disease or any condition in the environment, because we expose to many factors, many chemicals, many toxins in the food, in the drink, in the environment. So the body, especially the liver and the immune system, overwork. When they overwork, they will exhaust it. They will run out of energy. So finally, it becomes exhausted and it cannot work properly. So that becomes two different extremes. One side cannot work properly, the other side overwork, over attack. So that becomes the problem involved to the way we select food we eat, the way we live in the environment, and how to listen to our body to have a harmonious life. And then the other thing that we already practice, before we eating, we have the 5 contemplation to appreciate the food, the product of nature, of many different people, many different career, many different aspects contribute to have the food for us to eat. And also, during the time of eating, we try to maintain noble silence and chew carefully, so we can appreciate, we can take the truth of eat food. And one thing we not be able to apply yet, that means we didn't use the whole food as we explained this morning. Every single fruit or vegetable, it have its own ratio determined by the nature. So if we have ability to buy organic food, we don't waste anything. We can yield from the top, that means the green. We can yield the peel. We can yield everything. Don't waste anything. So by that way, first we maintain the proper ratio at a whole unit balancedly determined by the nature. So if we eat that fruit, our body automatically will balance itself because cause and effect. When we input the whole unit, when we input the balanced substance, automatically the output will be the same thing. Our body will come out with balance, the same ratio determined by the nature. So whatever balance, is no sickness, no illness. And then also by practice that we not waste the food, because we peel off, we cut off the lip. That means we waste some of the material, some the gift from the nature. And then also by using the complete product, don't discard, don't waste anything. We harmonize with all of them, because the same thing, the nature already determined the ratio for each food. So if we eliminate, we discard some of that, that means it not only to make it in balance, it also to disharmonize it. And as you know, many people, they think that they have a lot of money, power to buy food, to have food anytime, so they not really appreciate the food. They don't know that someday, even though they have a lot of money, they still cannot get food to eat, because whatever around us, it has an electromagnetic field. It has a feeling. It can receive the